Kia ora e te whānau, welcome back to another episode. Today I say this every single time, a really exciting episode. Literally every single podcast episode starts like that. But I'm being serious, like for reals, an exciting episode. Today we're here with Rochelle and she comes from R&P Insurance, and we're going to be having some really interesting chats about insurance and talking about the different things that we should be considering when we're looking at insurance. And I'm excited because I need to learn more about insurance. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm great. We're in Tamaki today and it's good weather, good vibes, and just had a V, so we're all pumped.
Good to go. Yeah,
I've
got the coffee, so my second for the day. So I think, yeah, we're good to go.
Cool. So tell us a bit about yourself and your journey with R&P Insurance. When did this start? What's your favourite thing about working in the insurance sector? Tell me more.
Yeah, okay. So my name's Rochelle Kali. I am half owner of R&P Insurance. Shout out to Philly, who is the P in R&P. R&P means risk and protection, as well as Rochelle and Philly. We've got a very good marketing team. And when I say marketing team, they helped us set that up. Other than that, I'm the marketing team for R&P. And I guess the journey started for me in finance when I was, I want to say 19 in Australia. I didn't grow up there, but I moved there I think when I was 18, and I wanted to get a real job. I had my daughter when I was very young, so I got pregnant at 16, decided to move to Australia, Perth, where my mum and my sisters are, and they supported me getting into the workforce and I guess looking after myself. And I was working a couple of different jobs to be there for my daughter Mania, but then at one point it just got so tiring, like I was working nights and days all shoved into a few days. And I was like, I think I need to go get a real job. So I started as a teller in banking.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so that was 2008.
Yep.
And then I came home. And when I say came home, I moved to Christchurch, which isn't home. I'm from the North Island. And we, myself and my daughter, have made a life in Christchurch. We've been there for 7 years. But I just did, I guess, through banking, I've gone from teller to personal banker to doing mortgages to being a business banker who did business lending. And I really, really loved that. And then Philly came to me. She was in Christchurch doing insurance. She was in leadership, and she said, Rochelle, do you want to come work with us and study to be an advisor? You clearly see insurance as an important thing and would love to have you. So I went and worked under her as an advisor for a while. Then I guess R&P was like a COVID baby. We realised what was important. We're both mums. We've got children. We're girl mums, by the way. So Philly's got 2 girls. I've got my daughter Mania. Mania's now 16. And we just wanted to do it for ourselves I guess we just wanted to do things the way that we wanted to do things. We wanted the lifestyle. We wanted to be with our families. We wanted to do insurance differently. And when I say differently, I mean we didn't want to be like, I guess I'll say it, like the pale, stale, male vibe that is in the industry, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's finance as a whole, but insurance, it is so much. And so for a woman, especially wahine Maori woman, for me to talk to anybody in finance, is, even though I was in finance, was really scary because I thought they were going to judge me.
Yeah.
Judge me for being a young mum, judge me for being, not having as much money as them or knowing as much as them. So I then thought, and we both were in the same position of thinking, we actually want to be there for people and have them be comfortable to come to us. So the way that we, I guess, set R&P Insurance up is kind of has that ethos behind it. Yeah, just making it easy. And then my favourite thing about being insurance is the people I get to meet, really. I know that sounds really like... Does it sound like... I don't know what the word for it is.
That sounds like me as well, because I feel like we already have enough of exactly what you're talking about. Like, we already have all of these Pākehā men that are doing well with pūtea, and we already have enough of them. Like, so big mihi to you for actually being there and having these kōrero that we need to be having. I think that, like, the impact of not having these kōrero are so detrimental on our whānau and on our iwi. So, yeah, thank you for all of the mahi that you're doing. I'm really excited today to get into a bit more of insurances and some of the different reasons why they might be important for whānau. So did you want to talk a little bit about the different types or different services RMP Insurance offers?
Yeah, sure. So I guess technically, and a lot of people don't think of us like this, so we are financial advisors. We are accredited, we are registered. We both have RMP Insurance is completely independent. So there's no man behind the scenes. There's no one put in money. There's no one sitting behind there. There's no one controlling us. We're completely independent. We have our own license. We're registered with the FMA. And so we did that because we don't want anything influencing the advice that we give our clients other than it's the best thing for them.
Yeah.
That's the way that we operate. So the services that we provide is advice on life, income, serious illness, and health insurances, private health insurance. We can, Philly gives advice on KiwiSaver, limited advice. And then we can point people in the right direction for what we call fire in general. So that's your home, contents, car, give them hints and tips, which we'll do, I guess, in other episodes, as well as business insurance as well. I've got quite a few startup Pakehi Maori that I look after, and it brings me so much joy talking to them and seeing them grow, and just all it's very inspiring to me to see. And like you said before, when you were saying thank you for being in this space, I think I want to thank you as well. I think the conversations that we have as Maori people around money just haven't ever been at this level that we're now at. You know, it hasn't been
And it's
there.
on progress, you know.
Right? And yeah.
I was watching this TikTok the other day and they were actually talking about that in itself. And I think the person started probably around the same time as you, around 2008. And they were saying that they can see the shift in the conversations that they're having. Like, we're talking about things today that wouldn't have been like normalized to have been talking about, you know, even 10 years ago when I was growing up. You know, my brother lives in London, and so he comes home every, say, year or a couple of years, and he always talks about the shift he sees, even when we're looking at, you know, I really can acknowledge that there's still lots to go, but we're looking at road signs that have ingoa Maori on them now, and you know, on the news we're actually having like Maori ways to move on to the next thing. And I just think that like there's so many things that we're doing really well at the moment, and there's so much change, and I love that for our people, because we really deserve that. Not to say that there isn't more to do, because there definitely is, but
I think it's just a never-ending. Like I would say, and please don't anyone get offended by this, but I'd say there's nothing more hardworking and more intense and more busy than a Maori woman.
yeah,
Right? Like, I think like as mums, as business owners, like we're just always innovating, always trying to do better for our whānau and give the best that we can. You know, my whole life up until now, and I have to go through life coaching so I don't have a midlife crisis at 30. I know, I'm 33 and I feel like I am going through one because my daughter's 16 and she's growing up. My whole life has been to give her the best that I ever could. So I've just been like intensely trying to do better, learn better, be better. And what happened was I felt like I went and I zoomed off, but I didn't feel like anyone was there with me. So the amount of times I've been the only woman in the room, but the only brown person in the room, a lot more common, and it still happens now. And I think, you know, and an interesting stat, 2% of financial advisors in Aotearoa identify as Māori or Pacifica.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're listening to this, where you at? Because we need to hang. But, you know, we need to do stuff together. And why would you know, if the way that we've been told and the way that we've grown up, we've been told we aren't good enough to be this, that we weren't allowed to dream or possibly think of that. Being Māori wasn't a good thing. Now it's the best thing. And I'm so happy. It makes me a little bit emotional, but so happy for my daughter that she gets to be proudly Māori and move with that. Gen Z do not give a damn. They will tell you when something's wrong. And they don't care what, you know, the older ones say. They're just like, whatever, that doesn't make sense, so I'm not doing it. And I'm like, all right, respect. You know, and I just think from a business point of view, I am quite virtually unemployable now. I couldn't be told what to do. I just think out of the box thinking, doing something different, pushing the boundaries for our children, for our people. And when I say our people, I link the Pacifica community in here too, because when I think of my Māori and Pacifica clients, it's the feeling is like we end up being friends. Honestly, I end up being friends with all of them. And I just want to give them a cuddle, and it's through a screen because often they live in the North Island and we're on Zoom or whatever. But and everybody's on their own journey, their own well-being journey, which includes mental, includes physical, it includes all of that. And I'm like a massive cheerleader, so I'll jump in and be like, I might follow them on Instagram and or send them messages and be like, I saw that you went for a walk this morning. Aww. Or we might link watches and, stuff like that where I'm like, yes, girl, like get out there.
I love that.
Because it's just, we're just relearning.
Yeah.
How to, or just, when I say relearning, I'm relearning how to think about things, but honestly learning how to be who we are unapologetically.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sound like a political ad.
Kei te pai. We can do that.
Yeah.
Maori party hard.
Yeah.
So what has the journey been like for you in having a pakehi and being able to help people, and what are some of the things that are important for you when it comes to insurance, and like what are your business kind of values when it comes to this?
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have, when you go to like a corporate and they've got like integrity.
Yes.
And just all that like stars up on the wall.
Yes.
And like I love that. Like you have to, and that's a part of the thing.
But like what's the real values?
Yeah. What's the real culture there?
Yeah.
What's the real feel? And really I guess the way that we are is integrity is our main that underpins probably everything that we do. And mainly because this industry, I mean, I don't want to talk against anything, but because we shouldn't. But I am happy to acknowledge, not happy, I will acknowledge that it hasn't been the most transparent of industries, and it doesn't. And sometimes, there's a bad egg that does the wrong thing, and they're still out there. And so I think integrity for us is really important, in that it doesn't matter what we get out of an interaction with a client or what we do for them. All that matters is that it's the right thing for them. And sometimes that's not us. We're going to be everybody's, cup of tea. And we won't. But when we do click with our clients, we're going to do the right thing and give them the right cover. I had somebody come to me that said, can you just give me a second look on this? Because I saw you and I feel like we vibe, but I've been given advice before this, and I just want you to look at this for me. And I will tell the truth. I'll say, hey, yep, that looks good. What you've done is right. Are you happy? Whatever. Yep, sweet. Off you go. That person came back and was like, no, I want you. And that's fine. But I've also had someone come to me and say, is this right? And I'm like, no, and these are the reasons why.
Yeah.
You can't afford it.
Yep.
It's actually going to put you in a position of not being able to afford the things that you want in life, not being able to save for a house, which was really important to you. When it comes to insurance, yes, you need to protect your whānau and you need to protect yourself. But what is the point in protecting a lifestyle that you actually can't live the way that you want to? So it is actually a delicate balance between budget and risk. As a single mum, I have always, since I was 18, I think, I've always had insurance at different levels, and I've built on it over time. And no, it's never been cheap. There's been times that it's been really, really tough, and I've gotten behind on my insurance and I've had to fix it up or do something like that. But I've always had it knowing there's only me. I don't have a backstop. Then she doesn't have one. I'm it. Yep. So that's the way that I saw it. And so a lot of my clients are single mamas. And they come to me. I don't even know how it happens, because when people come to us at R&P, they might come via Instagram or they might come through our website. Philly and I just basically just go one for one. Yeah. Oh, you take care of them, you take care of them. And that's how it pans out. I get all the single mums. Yeah. And I don't, it's like the universe is like, you need to look after them because you can relate and it makes sense. So in insurance, we lead with empathy. Integrity, empathy, in R&P insurance, integrity and empathy. And we just like to have a good time. So I guess if someone said to us, you make insurance fun.
Yeah, I was reading this review where someone was saying exactly that about R&P insurance, and that you guys made insurance fun. And as a follower of the Instagram page, I think that too. I actually genuinely love following the page. It's just a way to just really just make it fun. Really that, because I think even in finance and insurance and all of these kaupapa, they're really boring. Like, you know, when you're just looking at it, we need people to be actually like spicing it up to make it like exciting and actually make us want to look at it. Like, because a lot of the time we don't. We're like, oh, another day. I'll do that tomorrow.
There's so much paperwork, right?
Yeah.
And so many words that, like, big words as well. And I mean, I don't speak like that. Like, and so I'm really good. And this is the way my brain works. And I think we're talking about this. We went to dinner last night, everybody. White and Wong's Viaduct. Very nice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, very good. But we were talking about this last night around the way that our minds work and being able to, like, I can skim read a policy document really quickly and know exactly what's in there, what isn't there.
Yeah.
That's a skill that not many people have. So me being an advisor, it's really handy because I can be like, no, that's not good.
Yeah.
Or that's really good and these are the reasons why and this is why it's good for you.
Yeah.
That takes me 5 minutes as opposed to you months because you just keep putting it on the back burner because I don't want to read that. Like it becomes like a mind thing. Once you're in it, it's fine. It's like I saw the other day, was it Sarah Kelsey from the One Up Project? She said it's like starting a uni assignment. Like you avoid it, but once you get in there, you're there for a while.
Yep.
So a lot of people with insurance are just like, oh, and it is, I guess, if you do it yourself and you start looking through it all, it's boring. Like, and it's also a little bit depressing because you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong instead of like living your best life. So the way that we do it is insurance is plan B. Let us put a plan B in place for you that suits you, your budget, your whānau, how you feel about risk, because what I need and what you need is completely different. I'm 33, you're 19. The values behind it, how you grow up, what you feel, what your relationship with money is like, is all going to contribute to that, and we just get to know you to find that out. So I think the fun side of it is that we're just like normal people. Like we live too. We like to dance around on Instagram. Yeah, we're just ourselves.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing. And no job or something, such a big financial decision should be that boring.
No.
Like buying a house isn't that boring. It's very stressful, I hear, but you know, it's not boring, and we've all got different ways of looking at things. Yeah.
So we have a few episodes planned, and we're going to be covering, we're going to be going really in detail about the different insurances available. But for now, why do you think insurance is important, and why is it something we should be considering?
Yes. So insurance as a whole is basically protecting you against financial loss. Like that's the biggest thing. So it's a lot of the time it's easy for us to think about insurance of protecting our things. So, I want to insure my car or my house or my contents, my pet when I travel.
Yep.
What else is there? Your business. The one that's less talked about and less liked is what I do. Yeah. Which is
Take one for the team.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, honestly, you got to be tough to be in this industry because people just always say no to you and they don't like it. No one likes insurance or wants to pay for it, but especially this type. But life and health insurances, income protection, all of that. When you claim on it though, and I've claimed on it a lot, especially health insurance, you do see the value in it. But the reason I think we should have it, especially as I guess Maori and Pacifica people, what happens to us and our things doesn't just affect us. We are a community and we work. We're not individual, if that makes...
Yeah, and when one person, well, this is how I think of it at least, you know, when one of us is sick, it's the rest of the whānau that steps in to look after you. And so if we're looking after ourselves, then we're actually helping everyone by, you know, not having to put that on other people, I guess, is one way to think of it.
Oh, it's just looking after not just yourself, but you're looking after your whānau. And it's just, you know, if somebody passes away in a whānau, where you lose that income and that does directly affect a lot of people. I'm not saying in every single scenario because that would be very general, but in general there is going to be those scenarios. And I'm just even talking down to travel insurance. You know, if you miss a flight, if you lose your suitcase, all of that type of stuff, someone else might have to step in to pay for those. These are just ways of keeping independence and kind of taking care of yourself because you can.
Yeah.
And I think the can part is really important. So I'm not sitting here saying, hey, you can't afford to do the shopping. But go get some insurance, like that's, I want you to live. I want you to live. But I think if you are getting yourself, and if you're listening to this podcast, clearly you are wanting to improve your financial well-being. Insurance is a very important part of that. If you get yourself, to this point, and again, something we were discussing last night, is if you get yourself to this point where you're out of the, how I guess they say as Indigenous people, we start back here when we're born.
Yeah.
So if you have managed to somehow work so hard, reteach, learn, push through what everybody thinks of you and all of that, and bring yourself to here, and you're earning a living wage, and you're not living in survival mode anymore. Maybe
Why
a little
would you
bit.
want to risk it?
I just where's the if you look back, like protect what you've done there, and I'm talking in all things, your things, your pets. When you travel, if you need to go, if you need access to the public health, to the private health system, if you need medical care, like there's so many things in that individually that I guess when we do the other episodes, I'll touch on more. But it's just it's to protect your whānau as a whole. It doesn't matter what type of insurance it is. Where you start on the ladder, you'll figure out what's most important to you, and that's where you start, and then you'll slowly move through it. And get to the point where, like me, you have everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and claiming on it, like I've claimed on a few different things in my time. So travel insurance most recently. In January, I went to the Gold Coast. So my partner Nick's family, or his dad's side of the family, lived there. So we went there for a bit, and then we went to Perth, where my mum. I've got 3 sisters. I'm the youngest. And a million nieces and nephews. Love them to pieces. And we went to Perth. Very hot to there, by the way. But on the way back, I lost my headphones. Oh. And so they were Beats. So obviously not cheap headphones. Yeah. And my daughter lost hers too.
Oh, wow.
Pods, Apple Pods or whatever they're called. So I went to go claim on my contents insurance, and then I was like, hold on. I don't actually know where I lost them. So technically, if it probably was in Australia or in the air. So they were like, you're only protected in New Zealand. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And they're like, do you have travel insurance? I was like, you know what? I do.
I'm an insurance broker.
Should know. I did, I did get that one. So I claimed on that $100. I paid towards it. That was my excess. Yep. And they paid me out. It was very quick and easy. And then I had to downgrade to Apple Pods because I lost the excess. But it was, and we both got new headphones. So that's also that's at a very simple level. Yeah. The other side of it is that I have endometriosis.
Oh, me too. Endo sisters.
Oh, I don't know if that's what we want to be.
No.
So painful.
Not cool.
Yeah. So my health insurance claims for that are out the gate. Yeah. I am actually due to go and have another surgery. So ever since I turned 30, I've had a surgery like every year.
Wow.
Yeah, way to make you feel old, right? All different ones. So the first one was around, and this is something that I really want to bring home as well, and I know this isn't about health, but I'm really big on it, is get regular smears done. Mm-hmm. I left mine about 6 months too late, went and got a checkup 2019, and was probably one step away from having cervical cancer. Wow. So I had to have a surgery, went through a few things. I was fine, but it was very, very scary. Again, being a single parent, I was like, oh my God.
You're it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm it. I mean, I had all the insurance, but nothing replaces a mama. And so I got that all sorted, and I'm very, I guess when it comes to women's health, I'm all on board for whatever needs to be done. It is very invasive, I get that, but it keeps me alive. Yeah. And endometriosis surgery I had last year, and it's all coming back now, and it's quite traumatic for me to have to deal, because it's a daily struggle. Yes. And I don't want to take painkillers every day. I don't want to lie in bed every day.
Oh my gosh, we're like on the same thing, because that's exactly it. And I think, funnily enough, I ended up getting health insurance like recently, which is something that I was going to have a kōrero with you about, but I was diagnosed with endo before I got it. Mm-hmm. And so from my understanding, it's not covered.
We will, I'm going to give you advice.
Yeah.
Off camera and off like off the record. However, there is insurance companies that will provide you a cover that will cover you for pre-existing conditions after 3 years.
Yeah.
There's some conditions that will always be excluded, generally, namely cancer, joint issues, back issues, because they almost always come back. But with endo, yes, there will be somebody. So I'll have a look at that for you and review it. And just make sure that it is suitable. Because endo, even if you do go on the public list and you get a surgery, I'm just prime example here. I got one about 9 months ago, and it's already coming back and starting to. It's nowhere near the level that it was, but there's like in me a little bit of PTSD. Like, oh my god, I'm going to end up back in that same position. You know, weight gain, and pain every day, feeling tired. 1 week out of the month, I was like, yeah, I'm a normal person. And that was about it. So my gynecologist and I are real tight. And I just go see her. Like, I don't have to go to my GP and get a referral. I don't have to jump through any hoops. I just go see my gynecologist. I just book an appointment. I go see her and I say, this is what I want to do, or this is what I think's happening. I finished having children. I am happy with my one. She's amazing. And so I will be getting a hysterectomy in a couple of months because that's going to help me on my journey to wellness and balancing hormones and sorting all of that stuff out. But if I was going through the public system, I mean, I spoke to somebody the other day, 4 months. Sorry, 4 months, 4 years. Not months. Months is fine. 4 years she's been waiting to get a hysterectomy and is in pain all the time.
Wow. And that's exactly like me, which is so open on thing, but when I got diagnosed with it, basically, like, I crossed the threshold and I'm too obese to have the surgery for it. And so I have to lose weight to be able to get the surgery for it. And so that's when I started looking into health insurance and stuff and some of the different pathways forward for that. And I think that's a really big one because for me, as a business owner, when I'm not working, or even as a business owner and I'm working and I'm studying, not being able to do those things because I'm sore and because I'm in bed and because I'm tired from it, they prevent me from like living my life to the level I want to. And so that's one thing I think that it's really important that should be, talked about more is one, if we can't prevent some things from happening, but how can we best, like, with knowing this information, how can we best move forward with that?
Yeah. There's like a massive impact on your lifestyle. Like, life's hard enough. Yeah. Right? Like, and I think even, that, like, I guess our own experiences aside, you just look at like the stats for the health stats for Māori. We're always at the wrong end of it. Yeah. They're always high in the wrong space, yet we're a lower percentage of the population. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I think a lot of people will have this this view that, they need to do something about it. Well, I mean, must be nice to be able to think that way. It's just not the truth, is it? And ways of healthy living, being able to eat well, all of that stuff is a privilege. So the way that and then you're battling with a GP that might not even have your back. Yeah. And I've gone through those experiences of, really trying to look after myself, invest in myself and blah, 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 going to the doctors and stuff. But when you go to the doctors and the help they give isn't helpful, there's been times that I've gone to the doctors to try and things. He literally printed off a calorie counter for me. And I was like, I could just go on TikTok and find this. Like, it's just unhelpful. And so that's exactly why I looked at health insurance. So for you, what do you think the benefits are of that specifically? Yeah, so I think being able to advocate for yourself is a big thing. That's it, really. I mean, the stats are there. Like, you could say what you want, but stats don't lie, and they're there, and clearly we're not being listened. There's so many clients I speak to that are just like, I just don't get listened to, and even I think around the endo side of things, for women, often we're told, you're fine, it's just your period. Like, it's, just the move on, harden up. I'm sorry, but we are strong. We have children, we do all the things. Like, I just think that that's not how we should live. So I think being able to advocate for yourself is really good. And honestly, I learned how to do it because I'm in this job. I've learned so much because I have to ask everybody's health. I know more about people than they almost know about themselves. And I obviously that's completely private, but it's, I guess, the benefit of being able to advocate for yourself and being able to look after yourself and being able to seek the right treatment and support is really important. And there's a lot of insurance companies that will also have like little inbuilt benefits for free on top of your policy that will help you with wellness. That will they might have a health and wellness program. They might even have some free mental health support. Like there's just so many things in that I don't think people realize. And one thing I will say is that the advice that I give and when I help people, I do not charge fees. I just need to make that very clear because people think I do. And I think it's because I say financial advisor and they're like, oh, she must take my money. I do not. Some advisors might do it and they're allowed to, but I do not. I'm paid commission. We all are by insurance companies when we put cover in place. We will tell you what that commission is going to be. We're very transparent. We being R&P. But we don't charge fees. So when people want to talk to someone about this stuff, you can do it without any obligation or worry or whatever of thinking you're going to have to pay for something. All you'll pay for is the insurance that you have agreed to put in place. And I think that wellness stuff and the health stuff when we get into it in the next episode will definitely there's some more to share there.
Cool. So if someone's looking to maybe they haven't got insurance, maybe they do have insurance and they have some questions about what they have, what should they do?
Yes. So I guess find yourself an advisor that you connect with, that you trust to point you in the right direction. So that could be us. We might not be a cup of tea and that's fine also, but find somebody else. If you don't connect with them, you're not going to be honest and upfront with them with budget or your health. And that both of those can have serious consequences of your cover. So just that. Find yourself an advisor that you trust, that you connect with. If you need other little things, so eventually you want to buy a house or you need investment advice or, I don't know, contents, car insurance for, something else, these people will generally be able to connect you with like-minded people because we've got a really good little...
We're all friends.
We've got a little network of cool people. I put that in inverted commas because we all think we're cool. Of people that we work with that we know will take care of our clients. I've got a client in Palmy that I talked with and she was like, I want to buy a house. I was like, cool, go see this person in Palmy. She's a mortgage advisor. She'll be amazing. And she took amazing care of it. And just because I know, like I trust, if I didn't know, I wouldn't say, if I didn't trust. Go get yourself an advisor and that you can connect with.
Cool. So how can someone contact you or Philly from R&P?
Yes, so we have our website, which is randpinsurance.co.nz. So that's RANDP insurance. And then otherwise, if you wanted to have a little bit of a stalk first and get to know us a bit, I reckon Instagram's probably the best.
I actually did that too.
That's what I was it's the best way to go. There's quite a lot on there. So that's at RNP Insurance. And then you can scroll through, follow along, get to know us a little bit before you reach out. Like we've got people that have followed us for the last couple of years that only reach out now. And that's cool.
Yeah, it's like building that relationship. And I think that's like a really good thing to do. Like as much as, I work with different brands and I do all of this stuff, I think everyone should be doing their own due diligence. Like actually like look into people before you work with them or have a consultation to actually just have a kōrero and get to know someone because you don't have to sign up for anything before getting to know someone and just having a brief kōrero or whatever it might be to make you feel comfortable before signing up for anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, just flick us an email if you're even not sure.
Yeah.
We can review existing stuff as well, or take it over or help you. It's a very long-term relationship. Like some people will have insurance for like 30 years.
Wow.
So we're going to grow it together.
Okay, well, thank you, Rochelle, for joining us on our first episode. I'm excited to be doing a few more with you to get into some more details of insurance. But thank you, R&P Insurance, for sponsoring these episodes and come back for episode 2.